Hello, everybody, to another episode of Half a Clue Movie Review. This time we are covering another anime movie. Or actually, this is our second anime movie review, right? Bell is our first. I know we cover anime series, right?
Well, we also did some Miyazaki stuff, right?
Right. Oh, that one was old, right? This is our first, it's like a second solo, anime review, whatever.
I'm excited. I mean, also if you count Demon Slayer, we talked about the Mugen Train as well.
We talked more about the arc, right?
Yeah.
What's it called? Okay, so this is Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Our review and thoughts about the prequel movie and anime movie film to the Jujutsu Kaisen series, which is also based on the manga written and drawn by Akutami-san, I think, or Sama. I'm sorry if I try to find. That's like the best way I can pronounce it from what I could tell from the videos. I like your work. If anything, I actually like your manga a little more than the anime, even though the anime is great. So
really,
yeah, I appreciate you, man, and the shit you've been putting out is great. Even though I do have one question that your prequel series kind of conflicts with the manga series, and I'll get that into future speculation. And by the way, spoilers alert for anyone ahead. My name is Philip. I'm your host today, and we're followed by
Ron. Hey, what's up?
Okay, so Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is directed by Songhu Park, which is surprising. I didn't know it was a Korean guy who did this.
I didn't know that either.
And I'm just like, oh, okay. And then he's also known for this is his feature film debut, but he also worked on The God of High School, which is like on Crunchyroll and stuff like that, which also has insane fight animation. So I understand why they went to this guy.
Nice.
They were like, we're gonna try to up. Apparently, their goal was to up the stakes, or up the visuals of the TV series fights. And I'm kind of like, interesting, or at least make it more visually flashy. They did make it more visually flashy. Yeah.
I wouldn't know if I would say that they
they upped the visual factor, but I think the actual choreography I preferred in the original. But mainly because I guess like you had more characters and you had the Toto character with this interesting boogie woogie.
I feel like they used more of like their actual like curse energy techniques and stuff in the series than they did in the movie. For the most part, like you kind of get what I mean.
Yeah. I'll say this: if anything, when I get into flaws, one of the big things I think, if in anything, it's almost too faithful to the manga. Because I was reading the manga, it's very short, the prequel, and I read it frontward and backward. I don't know why I did that, but
why did you do that?
I just I don't know. I was going insane. I needed a break from watching all the documentaries we've been for our upcoming episode.
Yeah.
So I was like, and then it's like the dialogue, the panels, the scene, it's almost shot for shot the same, except they added stuff like the Toto, which was interesting. Which we'll get into differences. Okay, so first thing, what is your familiarity with Jujutsu Kaisen?
Never heard of it. I'm just kidding. I watched the anime when it came out, like as it was coming out. I don't even remember how I got like introduced to it, but did you mention it to me?
Yeah, I mentioned it too.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I saw it someplace else. Like I think.
Well, I mean, you might have been familiar with it, but I was like, oh, it's on HBO Max. But then you were watching HBO Max, it was dubbed. But then I was like, okay, well, here's my Crunchyroll account. I made one for This is our long journey to show.
Or also, I think I may have first got introduced to it from like Mother's Basement, which is another YouTube channel, which is fantastic, anime stuff. But anyway, I started watching it and I was like immediately blown away. I was like, this is amazing. I love the opening. I love the ending. The music is great. The action, the story, the kind of like horror elements like sprinkled throughout, like very inspired. You can tell that like, the creator is like a big horror fan. There's tons of like little nods and stuff throughout the stuff, which is great. And then like and now I'm watching the movie and
same for me. I heard about the anime first because people were talking about the fight choreography, and they were like, "It's amazing, it's so fun," and people were saying like, it's like the best shonen anime out there, and I'm like, okay, we'll see. They're like, you might like this better than Demon Slayer
or My Hero.
My Hero. I do like this better than My Hero though, but I mean, there's only one season. My Hero's like 5.
Yeah. It's very different, but also similar in a lot of ways, which is why I think they draw so many comparisons.
But I definitely think at least the animation from the actual anime series
Yeah.
is by MAPPA is definitely better.
Yeah, it's more consistent, I'll say, because there is some don't like cut My Hero short, because there are some like insane like
But
sequences and animation stuff. Yeah, it's like, but also they have a lot, and again, spread over 5 seasons. Sometimes it's kind of like a little meh. Other times it's like amazing. It just depends. You can tell they have to like save up, I guess, for like those bigger scenes or whatever. But this one, it's like it's pretty more like it's very consistent. Like pretty much every fight looks like fantastic, I'll say.
Yeah. Though I give Boku no Hero, their movies are very well animated though. Those ones do look really cool. So for me it's a real delight to watch, and watching it week to week when it came out. And then now I'm like so excited for season 2, which is not coming out until 2023.
Ouch.
Which is unfortunate. I hope it's like early 2023.
Me too.
Like maybe it's like, I don't know if all their staff went to this film. It does look like at some points.
It looks like a lot of effort and stuff was put into this. And also I know they've been doing like,
that Chainsaw Man and a lot of other series. Oh, and Attack on Titan,
of course. Yeah, like they've been busy. And for this level of animation, like I can understand why. Part of me is like, yeah, it's okay, take your time. But at the same time, like, yeah, I'm impatient. I want it.
I'll say, if anything, like they won't suffer into the issue of like Hunter x Hunter, where they catch up to the manga and they just stop.
Yeah.
So by the time, who knows, the manga might be over by the time season fucking 2 comes out, which is good. That means they have an ending inside.
They have an ending in sight, and then always they can. I'm a fan of like when they tweak things a little bit just to make it like a little bit different.
I'm hoping for Attack on Titan season 4 that they tweak things. We'll talk about that in that episode.
Yeah,
I really hope they tweak things.
Yeah, I'm one that I haven't read the manga yet. I've tried to dodge spoilers. I kind of know what happens, but it's a very not totally clear image of what the ending is, but I understand people don't like it, so I'm like, yeah, we'll talk about that one when we get to that.
All right, so back to this. The synopsis for Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is a prequel to the series.
What?
I know it has the word 0. And it follows It follows Yuta Okkotsu, who is voiced by Megumi Ogata, who, for anyone who's into Japanese voice acting, she voiced Shinji in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Yeah, which is crazy. Like her young, older self. I mean, the character's old, younger self. I mean, like 16-year-old self and young self are all voiced by the same woman.
Wow.
Yeah, but she's really good. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
What's it called? And he is cursed with a really strong spirit named Rika, who is basically the cursed manifestation of his dead loved one, that they promised to get married or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's a twist where we find out that it's actually he's the one who. And with Yuta, they, our main our sensei, Satoru Gojo, who's like the 6-eye sorcerer beast supreme. He's basically the OP character that nobody could
he's the best
finger on.
Yeah.
He figures out about this guy and he's like, okay, let me go recruit this guy into my high school, right?
Yeah.
Under my tutelage with other jujutsu sorcerers, and make him a sorcerer and have him learn. And his goal is to basically break the curse that's trapping his loved one, Rika.
Yeah.
And that's you. But while at the same time, you have this insane evil, like he's basically the evil double of Gojo. What's it called? His name is Suguru Geto, whose ability is to basically trap and control curses.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that for a long time. He has like tens of thousands of curses. It's a pretty cool power, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's really cool. Geto, more like get out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so he's trying to start a war and create a society where it's only jujutsu sorcerers, because he views humans as monkeys.
Yeah, because we live in a society.
I know. He's like, it's like Gojo's like, you want to reach around, Gojo?
Yeah, he's the Joker / Tyler Durden.
Yeah, exactly. Or even like Frieza.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says the same exact lines as Frieza because Frieza views
Humans as monkeys.
humans as monkeys.
Is that
or, like,
ironic?
Saiyans
Aren't
as
they like
monkeys.
also monkeys?
Yeah, they're also monkeys too. Yeah, yeah. And then he and then he has the same thing and also super powerful and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But now he's like, okay, Yuta has an insanely powerful curse. Rita, who's who is this giant monster, is basically invincible, unlimited curse potential energy.
Because it's based off of love.
Yeah. And he's just like, okay, let me kill Yuta and like take Rika as my own curse, and I could win the war, and that's the whole thing. But
unlimited power.
But until then, we get kind of this not slice of life, but like him taking a couple missions and training and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is interesting. The brief development thing is that originally this was not supposed to be a movie. They were just gonna have this as like a little mini series or something.
Oh,
yeah, or like part of season 2 in the beginning, and then lead in.
I was gonna say that makes more sense because that was. I mean, I don't want to get just into criticisms, but it didn't feel quite like a movie. Yeah, it felt a little bit more just like just like a snapshot of a couple episodes, maybe just kind of stitched together.
If anything, the only movie part that like had a continuous story. I mean, I guess there is a continuous aspect to it.
Yeah,
I kind of wish they changed more. Because in the manga, it's pretty much like the manga is like exactly how it goes, B for B.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish they changed it where like Geto's like, you see him more in each mission.
It was cool because again, I haven't read the manga or anything, but I've seen the like the anime, and like Geto's kind of just in the background. You kind of see him pulling the strings.
That's not the same Geto.
What? Really?
Yeah, because you remember he has like that
scar on his head. Right? Yeah.
I don't want to say what that scar is, but that's not the same Geto. You know how at the end of this movie, I guess we'll go with full spoilers and breakdown, but
yeah,
after his fight with Yuta, he's pretty much killed by Gojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I figured just like because of I thought that was the same guy. I figured with the scar on his head, I was like, okay, this is like
I'll say
he survived somehow or something. So I did not realize that's not the same guy.
Yeah, you'll find out. I won't say too much, but it's really cool when it's like they
reveal.
Like I'm not even trying to say what the arc is because it's kind of a spoiler.
Okay, yeah,
but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
interesting. Okay,
and also pay close attention to that scar and who else has that scar.
Oh, I know who else has that scar.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know. So what's it called? Geto is I kind of wish Geto had more presence in this one, and also okay. You know what? I think maybe I'll say my criticisms first before we get into the animation style and stuff like that.
Okay.
One thing I didn't like about this film, I overall really did enjoy it. It was fun, very much. And then I'll compare it to Demon Slayer. I know everybody wants to be like, is it better than the Mugen Train film? We'll get to that in a bit. We'll say that till the end. You know what I mean? I think they're very different,
Yeah. Like just very different.
Yeah.
Films.
One acts is very, and if anything, this almost is a good gateway drug to the series.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that is a positive itself. Like, you don't have to watch anything, and also still impacts the anime.
Yeah. It slightly spoilery, just in terms of like the curse techniques you see from like the other.
Like Black Flash and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh man, I wish we'd seen that. Like, or I get, but again, how are you not going to show that?
Yeah, because those characters have that.
Yeah, it's like that just wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, so anyway,
so it's I'll say this. One of my criticisms is one, I think like for a film, right? Because the like in a film, there's a lot more runtime. The manga is really short, really short, and like the manga in itself, honestly, could be like an episode and a half.
Oh,
yeah, but they added a lot. Like they add like you mentioned Toto.
Yeah, like
that's not in there at all.
Oh, okay.
And also they extended the fight between Gojo and the Black Beret guy.
Yeah, the Nigerian dude.
Yeah, and then it's like kind of like it's weird, and they add more couple lines and dialogue, but for the most part, it's like it's panel for panel, line for line, the same as that. It's like Xerox. But I almost wish they took not like to change the core of the story, but I kind of wish they added more stuff in this film, or they included the backstory, because in the manga they actually do, like in one of the later chapters, there's a whole flashback arc of Gojo and Geto and how Geto became this way. Because Geto used to be kind of like almost a little bit like Yuji, or stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, I want to save people and stuff like that, and he was very optimistic. And then and that arc is really cool because you also see is I think it's a Megumi, it's Fushiguro, right? Megumi.
Is that
Megumi, the black hair guy. He's like the Chimera Garden, and he has all the
Oh yes,
the
yes,
Shinigami and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has like Megumi's dad and stuff.
Okay.
And then you see, it's probably one of my favorite arcs in the fucking manga. And you see a flashback with them.
Yeah.
You see how he got that way. And I was thinking like, okay, because it's so short, I was expecting, and that may be my fault, but I was thinking like just for us to better understand this character before his because he dies in this film.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, and that's the end of his character, right? That we would get that flashback and we will see all that, or it'd be integrated within.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see more of Gojo and Geto's relationship. So when that final event happens, there'd be more impact. Like, oh shit, they were friends. This is really sad.
Yeah.
But when that happened, I was kind of like,
It kind of does rely a bit on like those flashbacks. Because I was gonna say I did like. I guess I came into it with like zero expectations. I didn't really know what this movie was about at all, and I wasn't familiar with the prequel or anything. So going into it, I was like, I was kind of hoping, yeah, like when they started showing him, like that he was gonna be the prominent villain in this film. I was like, okay, cool, because like I thought it was the same guy from the series.
it's the same body. I'll say
Okay.
that.
So I was like, that's interesting. And I was like, so I wanted to see like how they were going to use him or what, like, or, to get more of like, background on this guy because like, he's like, oh, I don't want them to know about me. He's very clearly looks at least like a former sorcerer or whatever. So it's like, this will be interesting. So, and I did like that they kind of, they did build out the relationship between him and Gojo more. But it did feel like it was very tacked on at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just at the end. Like, he was just kind of like, oh, man, we used to be really cool together. You're like a brother to me and like everything. He's like, oh, man, this kind of tragic. But it did lack that kind of that weight because it was just like kind of rushed, felt like at the end. Like, you kind of get that. You kind of understand his motivation more, I suppose, that kind of standard, like, we deserve to be on top, that like Magneto Frieza thing, right? Yeah.
But it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's like there was a real chance to make a very tragic. Like he went from a heroic figure to like a tragic villain.
Yeah,
and there was an opportunity to do that where I would have been like, oh, this would have been one of the best anime films of all time, type of thing. Like if they had that in there.
They did not.
Yeah, they didn't. And also another criticism that I had is like somehow like I get it why, because in the scene Toto was cool with that group when they're fighting demons. Instead of that, I would have honestly rather have seen, or even an extended fight between the Black Beret. I'd rather have more scenes in the beginning. One with more Geto and the flashbacks. But besides that, I would have rather have more scenes with Yuta like training, because he's just like, they say it through dialogue.
Yeah.
And the time passing, like 3 months, 1 year. And I'm like, but we see him training with Maki.
A year? Really?
At the end, he's like, remember Geto was
he's like after only 1 year
you could copy like I'm just like, really? It's been a year.
Yeah, I did not get that, honestly.
Like I was thinking like, okay, like like it doesn't have to, like, not with dialogue, like they're good with montages and shit like that. MAPPA is known for their montages. So like I was thinking like, is there gonna be a montage like of him fighting Maki, but then like, like the camera swooping around, but each time it passes the character as like a different season or time or date, or something like that, to show the passage of time, him getting better with each strike, or him copying the strike, and him going against all 3 of them because that's how badass he gets.
Even Rocky had a montage.
I know. I'm thinking like that wouldn't take up that much time. Like this is this is called adaptation for a reason, but they didn't, and that's why at the end when he drew the signs and he was able to copy that technique. It didn't feel earned.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very interesting that it's like you're saying how short the manga itself was, and this one felt like it was like it's still kind of like just rushed.
Yeah. So it's like, even though it was added, it was still short. What I mean?
they added a bunch of stuff and still managed to feel like it was like rushed by the end, because as like the movie was just progressing normally,
he was able to go toe to toe, because Geto is on the same level as Gojo, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of
are pretty close.
They say that, and then it's just like, that's pretty crazy, because it didn't exactly seem that way.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess like, because he took down those. Well, then again, they're just like students.
Yeah, they were like first years and stuff, which I understand they were still very like advanced, but like the fact that they were that advanced. I don't know, but I'll just say that like it's very interesting. And then, again, we're gonna compare it to the Mugen Train because it's like whatever the movie,
Yeah.
similar ideas in a way. But like that one, it's like that one felt like it wasn't rushed at all. If anything, it felt like they were just really kind of stretching things out more. And this is like the exact opposite somehow. Because I was gonna say the first 2 acts of the film, I was totally on board with like the pacing. It's again, it didn't exactly feel like
3 months
film.
passed.
Yeah, like or exactly like the timing felt off. But like I was like, all right, cool. Like we see him kind of progressing a bit and stuff. Here's there, and the relationships are growing. Like that's cool. And then like by the time you get into the 3rd act, it's just kind of like it just feels like they're just rushing towards the end.
Yeah,
It's like,
Geto appears. I'm gonna declare war. I have thousands of hearers.
yeah, it's just like
Like
okay.
wouldn't it have been cool to see Geto like fucking trap? Like it would have been nice. Like I think that would have been cool if they incorporate that, like whatever spirits Yuta wasn't able to kill, he's like taking them in or something like that, or something. I don't know. Like just have him sprinkled throughout more, because he only appears in that one scene with oh gosh, what's it? The guy who could speak curse words.
Oh yeah.
It's
is it
is it Manami?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Manami or something.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, he only appears there. I'm like, I thought he would show up at like the school or something like that or whatever. And they even say at the end, like, oh, the school was that you too? And I'm like, why wasn't he shown then?
Yeah.
But whatever. I think it's like missed opportunity. And in the manga, it was the same way too, pretty much. But that was my criticism of the manga too. I was thinking like, okay, let's fix this shit. But unless they were too faithful to the manga.
I will say also, I know you said that like they shouldn't have had more Toto or whatever, but
I know you wanted.
Yeah, I want to see more, because in the show they specifically mentioned like, weren't you the guy from like that one night, like legendary time, like you took out like a bunch and you used your own curse energy or whatever? And he's just like, oh no, I did for like the big ones or whatever. But the point is like that event seems like it marked him, like it really put him on the map or something. Like everyone was like, oh crap, you got to take notice of this guy. And we got like a flash of it. Like that was it.
He didn't even punch.
Yeah, he didn't literally just come, like just kind of fly in and then he flew out.
Almost.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, that's disappointing, because once like I heard him say like it's gonna be the march of what is it, like a million or
1,000,000 nights or something.
Yeah, a million demons or whatever. And I was just like, awesome. I was like, cool, we're actually gonna see that. Like that's cool. Like I really want to see how this is gonna play out. And we got some cool moments for like other characters and stuff. Like that's cool. Like the lady with the braid over her face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she uses an axe. That's interesting.
Yeah, she's cool. Like that. Like once again, that's also not in the manga.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's cool. It's weird that they gave her a moment, but not Toto.
Yeah,
I think Toto would have been super cool to see. But I guess maybe because we've already seen so much Toto in that's why they were like, okay, we'll give.
Yeah,
her.
I guess so. But again, it feels so out of place to just like to mark this like specific occasion with Toto's like accomplishments and everything, and then just not even show it. And it's like, we're not going to get another chance. I mean, I guess there's like at some point they can do a flashback, but at this point just feel like just retreading.
No, I don't think they will. Which is sad. I actually would have loved to see it, because I'll say this with Toto, like he doesn't appear much in the manga after that what we seen the season 1.
That's disappointing.
He has like one big awesome fight, and then just like they just forget about him.
Oh.
And then that's why I'm kind of like, okay, I'll be honest, when I first saw him, I was like, okay, it's cool. They're adding too much, but I'm like, but are they going to make it up? Are they going to fight? Pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything.
Nah.
If anything, his fucking teammates got to do more shit than him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, they're the ones that give, like the girl with the fucking, I get it. She's Maki's sister. But I give no fucks. I mean, her story gets cool later, but I give no fucks about her fucking spirit ability of shooting things.
Oh, with her gun. Yeah. It's like
the lamest thing.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I thought it could be cool. Like, oh, she turns it into like a machine. I don't know.
Something. Yeah. Like it's yeah. Even like in like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where the bullets like chase after.
Yeah.
they're like little tunes.
Or yeah, or if like the bullets are animated and they become like something.
Yeah, like special bullets. Whatever.
Enough bitching. I feel bad. We're all bitching.
No, honestly, this is great though. There's a lot of great moments in it. Like
one last criticism.
Yeah.
I think literally the final blast of Yuta versus Geto's fight.
Yeah.
Lame as fuck. In the manga, I thought it was lame. In here too, I was kind of like, please add more something, right? Because after she said, "I love you," right?
Yeah.
and she just does that one Kamehameha blast.
Yeah.
And then, and then he hypes it up. He's like, oh, my special, like there's 4,000 demons in this blast. On top of that, there's a special grade. There's only 16 of these in the world.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We don't see it.
It's just a blast.
Yeah. It's like okay. Yeah, that was a little underwhelming. Yeah, underwhelming. And honestly, like just little nitpick here. It's totally nitpicking, but whatever. It's just like the fact that like it's the love between Yuta and Rika or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like they were children. Like
yeah,
I don't
they
know.
were right. I guess
like,
maybe in the way it's like more like I could see like in the rules of the world it's more innocent and more pure.
Yeah, it
than
is
it
more
was for
pure.
adults, so that's why it's probably more powerful.
I could see that, sure.
Yeah.
But I just feel like no offense to kids.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like the love of like two kids like basically that have like a crush on each other, like they kind of quote unquote like love each other. It's like
they do show it like
you
at a
don't know.
hospital and stuff, and then grew up and
yeah, I know, but it's still it's like that's not like it's
I mean it's not as much as an adult. I get that.
yeah, it's like not as like adult love. It's like, oh, this is what love is, or like love between like a parent and their kid is like that's even more next level or whatever. It's just like I don't know. It was a little like I was like really it's like these kids that like love each other. Like I don't know. It's like that's like this insanely powerful special grade thing kind of manifested into that. It's like
I guess they
so.
They did say that he was already really powerful because he's a descendant of the top three sorcerers.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
he's a long time long distance relation of Gojo.
Yeah,
which is funny because he was just like
and then they showed his which I wish they showed more training of his because I guess later on they show that he's like a copycat sorcerer type of thing.
Yeah, I didn't get that until like
they were like, "Oh, you copied the thing." And
yeah, he's like, "Wow, you already learned how to copy that." And it's just like, "What? Like he could just do that? Like I didn't know he could do that."
And that another thing that's lame is his they make when he is healing.
Yeah.
That's called reverse curse. That's very fucking few people could do that, but they just brush it off like that.
Where's he, Ray from Star Wars?
I know, and then and then the whole point was like that was supposed to be a big thing in the manga before the prequel came out. When he did that, everyone was like, "Oh shit, this guy is like dope." Like I can see why people put him on Gojo's level.
Yeah,
but then in here, it's just like, when did he learn that?
Yeah, it was just like he's healing them again.
Like at least like read. At least have him like go to the library and read it and practice
something. Yeah, because again, for me, again, being oblivious to that, like or even that knowing that technique existed, I was like, he's healing them. Like he can do that. Like I didn't even know that was like a thing you could do. All right, like I guess like I was like that's okay.
Like the very few non-medics that could do that is like him and like Gojo.
No,
when Gojo. I won't say too much, but he'll explain it in the flashback arc with him and Geto, and that's how he becomes OP. But I don't know. I was really annoyed. I I respected much. But okay, let's get to the positives. Enough of us bitching.
There's a bunch of positives.
Let's compare our protagonists. In a weird way, some parts of me like Yuta better, like his tragic backstory. But then again, we don't have much. I'm just talking about just introduction. I like Yuji overall better because we have more time with him.
Yeah.
But in terms of like intro to intro, like let's just say like the first 3 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen compared to this movie, right? Sure. Which is about accurate, I guess, because it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's about 3 episodes.
I think I still preferred Yuji. I don't know. I like he's very charming, charismatic.
Oh, he is.
He's very fun to watch. He also has like that kind of mix of tragedy with him too, but it's like it's different. I think it's just like for the fact that like he grew up, like his grandfather died. He kind of just has this weight on his shoulders. He doesn't really exactly know what to do. I know it's not as tragic, of course, like watching your childhood love get ran over right in front of you.
And your power is that's what I think is more compelling. Like his power. Well, I'll say this: Yuji does become more compelling once you find out about his parents.
Okay,
and also. Like okay, I know.
I don't want to say too much. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for right now. I do. I don't know. I like Yuji more.
Yeah, but I think the idea of Yuta tying his power to his tragic backstory is a very smart thing to do in writing sense.
Yeah, no, because again, it does immediately. Because again, it's like coming at it. I only knew Yuji as like the the main character. And then it's like, okay, this new guy is going to be the main character. Why do I care about him? And it's just like, oh,
and they did a really good, like really quick job of making you care.
I was like, this is interesting. He's cursed like himself. Like he's cursed with this like insane special grade curse. Like that's pretty dope. And like, he's just kind of like walking around like this, with insane power behind him. It's like, oh, interesting.
And his character arc is suicidal to life affirming, which is, itself is very nice.
Very cool. Very cool. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm on board with this. I was like, this is very interesting. I like it. And yeah, I do. I don't know. Just like I don't know. Just I liked it, like a lot of the designs in this show and
Yeah.
in this thing. And then I liked Rika's design. She's kind of like this weird
Yes.
faceless monster with like super sharp teeth and like. Like with and the whole thing with like the ring and everything, and like him, like lending her his power, that was cool.
And he has a blade.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
cool. Like that was cool. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I liked about it. I even liked the kind of like the playfulness of like him possibly having a crush on Maki, or Maki had more actually her maybe having a crush on him or something, and how
Yeah.
Panda plays that. That was adorable. I loved it. I love seeing more Panda. I love seeing more Miko.
Oh, because Panda is like hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I always liked him from the anime series.
Yeah.
So I'm like glad to see more of him in the manga and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And even what's it called? I keep forgetting his name. Manami, right? The guy who could like speak and shit.
Yeah.
Like he's cool. Like I've always thought his character was funny, that he could only say like certain type of like fish egg or whatever, like some type of ingredients.
I think rice ball
ingredients.
Yeah.
Because like his words could have the what's it called, an effect. And that's why when he says run away, that's like, and yet there's no curse attached to it because he probably lost all his curse powers to fighting Geto, has more impact. Yeah, that guy is cool. That guy's really cool. And Maki, I have a crush on Maki. I'm not gonna. I have a cartoon crush on Maki. She's like, I'm like, I dig the underdog. Like, yeah, your family hates you, but you're still trying. And you're being badass. Fuck yeah. And
yeah,
also,
no, she's great, honestly.
And and like the fact too. Is it what's it called? Okay, it's not Manami. It's Inumaki, right?
Inumaki. Yeah.
Toge Inumaki.
Toge
right.
Inumaki.
What's it called?
We apologize, Sir Toge.
I am so sorry. What's it called to this fictional?
But no, yeah,
character.
he's really cool. I loved him in the show. Every time he used his power, it was just like, it felt like a showstopper. Like it was just like boom, he spoke. And like from the first time you see him, when he says like stop to Toga,
Yeah.
and then when he says like run away, like it's so good. It's
like,
awesome.
Explode.
Yeah, it's like
Get crushed.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's like the perfect way to like kind of like I think it's like this show seems to be like a master at like having those big reveal moments that like when they show up again, it's like, oh, it's so badass. Like every time Gojo takes off the blindfold, it's like it's getting real. Whenever you see him like unzip his like his
mouth.
Yeah, his mouth, and you see his mouth, it's like it's gonna get crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's so like this show is like really awesome at that. Or seeing Panda transform, or seeing like
and Maki Maki. Oh,
she's kind of just around, which is fine.
No, but she's strong in her own part with the curse tools, and she's
absolutely
in the anime. You see the growth.
Yeah,
she does a lot more.
I'm just saying she doesn't have that like reveal moment where it's like, oh no. Okay,
that's all I'll say.
Okay,
she will.
But I'll just say like because she always kind of walks around with the with her staff or her weapon. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, it's just a curse tool.
Yeah, the curse tools.
It's not even she gets nunchucks at one point, stuff like that.
Sweet.
So I'll just say this, and also, and not just in terms of cool, like her character actually evolves in a really cool way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Does she get a gun? I'm just kidding.
I'll say like she has a confrontation arc between her and her family.
Awesome.
And that where I'm like, okay, without saying too much.
Cool.
But yeah, so like I said, and okay, and also the animation is fucking great.
Incredible, yeah. Awesome fight scenes throughout, from like just from the beginning, like the first major one at like the school to basically like the big confrontation, or the confrontation with what's his name? When they go fight like the fish thing and that weird like elephant looking thing, like that was just awesome. Like each fight was unique in its own way, and that's awesome. That's really cool. Like they all kind of had their own challenges, and each one again had the different kind of cursed energy users and stuff techniques. And it's like cool. That's how you keep those fights so fresh and sleek and interesting to me.
Now, okay, let's get into. Okay, so like it ends with Geto dying. He loses the war. And also with Rika, disappearing. Like she's like finally freed from the curse, and she could go on to heaven and shit like that, which is weird. Because I'll say it's weird because I'll say this because it's not really spoiled, not to avoid spoilers from the manga too much. But when Yuta comes back, and without much fanfare either, it's just like when he just fights.
Okay.
Like she's still in the background.
What?
Yeah.
Weird.
There's a bunch of theories saying that like because he's a copy master, that he might have been able to copy that technique, but without Rika's soul. But I'm like, I feel like kind of diminishes the impact of what happened here.
Yeah, it really does, because it's kind of like, oh, she's gone. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to, I mean, he still has, like, he's still pretty OP.
Yeah, you can
Let's
copy
not-
any abilities.
Yeah, like, let's not lie. Like, that's pretty OP. Like,
Or
doesn't
maybe
feel
some
like-
people say it's like a Shikigami, right? Like kind of like how
Yeah.
Megumi stuff. For me, it has to be something like that, or a copy, or it's a copy of that.
Yeah.
It can't be Rika's soul because I feel like that's just like a plot hole.
Yeah. And also, just, it would have to be much weaker, like, much weaker for it to just, again, have that impact in this kind of moment. But whatever.
I'll say
Also, I
this,
thought he was gonna die too, because he was like, "Oh, I have to like, kill
Yeah,
myself." Which I like that. I really like that that was an element to it, because that's one of the things I love. The core elements of the show. It revolves a lot around death and acceptance of death and whatever. And how Yuji's big thing is he just wants to be able to choose when he dies.
right.
Because I think that's like totally relatable. Like, I think most people would be like, "Yeah, I would like to choose when I die, not just go like die screaming."
Yeah.
So like just interesting. So I love that aspect of it, where he's like, yeah, he was suicidal, but then he did want to live, but then he also was willing to sacrifice himself and whatever. And it's like, that's great. So yeah, I like that part of it. So again, having that tragedy and that choice and her choice, kind of getting diminished by her kind of essentially still being around or something.
Or
Is like,
I
that
heard
sucks.
something because like he became so powerful that he's able to manifest like another curse or something.
Yeah,
'Cause
okay.
he's a special grade sorcerer, so I can
guess
see that
so.
happening.
Yeah.
But just like emotional, like on a writer sense, the emotional impact is kind of diminished.
Yeah, it would have to be something like different at the very least.
Yeah,
it's
like
the
a different power,
design.
right?
Yeah.
No, it's not different. I mean, well, I guess it's more spikes and stuff, but I don't know.
Oh,
But he still says Rika, but people say it's not. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah. That's just, again, why just avoid that confusion? Just have
Yeah.
it something else,
Call
like,
it something else. Just say
Yeah.
like, whatever. Like, fucking Megumi calls his spirits like wolf one, wolf. Like he just like
Yeah.
very simple owl.
like dark white wolf, yeah, owl, bird, snake, whatever.
But whatever. Okay, but okay, let's get into future speculations. Okay, so based on what I told you about Geto and stuff, and now that you know he's dead, what are your speculations regarding that character? What do you think? Why do you think he has a scar? And I'll avoid saying anything.
Well, you already kind of did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. You said like it's his body, so I'm assuming he was like possessed. His body was like a kind of like a, what do they call, like a cursed corpse or something, where basically it was like maybe possessed or something by like some kind of, I'm assuming like special grade spirit or something, or curse
I won't say anything.
thing. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want you to. I'm just speculating. But, I'm assuming maybe something like that happens, and then he's still kind of like, because it seems like, at least for the show, because again, I'm anime only. It seems like basically the
You
idea
say that
is,
with such pride. You're like, yeah, fuck you.
No, I'm
manga
not.
readers.
I'm not
just
saying
kidding. I'm just
that.
kidding.
I just want people to be clear. So there's like, what, does he not read the anime? It's like, no, I don't. So like, I just don't. Sorry, but like, I imagine that it's like all the curses, like again, like these big OG curses of like, the woods and water and earth and whatever coming together, and of mankind and trying to be like the true human beings, like whatever that means, like I don't know. So I don't know exactly what Geto's like, place is it in it all, but like be interesting. It seems like whatever it is, like it seems to be kind of be the main thing pulling the strings. So
Were you surprised to see that he died, or was it?
yeah, I was, honestly. I was like, when he was there, I was like, okay, so he's gonna get his scar by the end of this or something. Like, he's gonna end up like getting messed up in some way, but he'll come back or whatever. And then him essentially dying, I was like, this is confusing. But again, I thought like, I didn't think he did die. I thought like, okay, maybe he survived somehow, or they revived him. Like, why not? He's a special grade sorcerer. Like, why wouldn't he's like maybe the second most powerful dude in the world? Like, I could see it. It could happen. So I don't know. Yeah. So I was, now that you're telling me that he died for sure, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that is pretty surprising. But I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm excited.
Well, I'll be honest. Yeah, I think like. What was it? Well, I mean, because I knew about it before I read the prequel.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, curious to see and like how it ties together and stuff.
Yeah.
One thing, and I'm not gonna mention the post credit scene because it's like useless. It really is just like, it's useless. It's just like Yuta, another mission.
Oh
or
yeah. No,
whatever.
it really was like, yeah, really weird. It's just like he's hanging out with the Nigerian dude or something, and they're just like, yeah, look, we're just eating this like food and whatever. And then Gojo just shows up. He's like, hey, we gotta go. And he's like, okay. And that was it.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
And as a manga reader, I can see where they're going, like they're trying to tease. But if you haven't read the manga, it's kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I feel like even like with Marvel teases and stuff, like it still leaves more. Like yes, it's open for interpretation in a sense, but like I don't know.
There's at least something that happens this big.
There's
You know what I
something
mean?
that leads you to like research it. Like if you'd been like, we gotta go, we have to deal with like a cursed spirit in like this city, or we have to deal with something specific, or this guy, or whatever. Then it's like what, and then you can like look it up or whatever. But this, it's kind of just like I don't know, whatever
It's
he's
like the
doing.
same thing for
like,
the Batman post credit scene where it's just like goodbye ?
You know, the Avengers will return. It's like thanks.
Oh, thank you. You know will return. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was it's cool. Okay, what are your speculations for season 2 after this and stuff? And I know we talked about Geto, but what about with Yuta? What do you think his role will be in the series?
I hope that he comes in. They've mentioned that there are other 2 students that were like special grade or that were close to Gojo or whatever. So I assume that they're gonna come back.
I think he's one of them, right?
I assume so. Now, right?
No, wait, no. He is one of them. They said that. Yeah. Because I
Okay.
remember. Yeah.
Because when they showed him like there, I was like,
even
does he
in the
die?
manga, even in
Like-
the manga, you don't see the other guy yet.
Yeah. Okay. So I was surprised. I was like, is he gonna die? Like, are they gonna show him dead, or like he's gonna show up, like, or something? Because like I don't remember if he was the guy that they show flashes of in season 1. So I was like, is that this? Like, he's gonna be there? And then by the end, so there was some like actual tension. Like I was expecting him to die. So that was cool. Like that's not usually a thing that like you don't always think the main character is gonna die. Like I don't think Yuji's gonna die for a while.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I'm like I don't know. There's not that much tension there. Same goes.
He also
for,
has like the main villain in his body too.
Yeah. It's like this. So like yes, it's still compelling. The show can still be compelling, but it's not as interesting. But whatever. So I thought he was gonna die, but I'm cool to see him. I'm glad to see him like sticking around and have like future potential. It'll be interesting now when they do introduce him in the show. I like that I'll have like more of a backstory for him. I'm like, cool. Like now I know more. So like, that more context for this dude when he does finally show up. I assume he will. I don't know. Maybe he'll have some kind of tie-in with Geto. Like, when he comes out, well, maybe it's not exactly him, but like there's got to be some connection there. There's something. I don't know. I imagine there will be something between him, Gojo, and Yuta. Now they have like a direct link to this guy pretty much. So that's very interesting. Yeah, I think he'll probably just be a big force moving forward, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I hope they do him. Maybe I don't know. I want to see how they'll flesh him out more, and what his relationship will be with Yuji, because Yuji again is super likable.
They still like 2 protagonists like hanging out, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, and Yuji's like a dude that like I think he'll immediately want to be friends with this guy because he wants to be friends with like everybody.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun seeing them interact.
And to see them spar too.
Yeah.
And Yuta just being like,
yeah, that'll be interesting. And yeah, it'd be cool to see like maybe they'll focus more on his powers, or maybe he'll teach more to Yuji and like actually show him how to like, use different curse techniques and stuff, because Yuji's cool, but like I want to see his like, his growth and whatever, which I'm sure we will, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
all right, let's get into final ratings. I have my opinion pretty much summed up. Really liked it, really enjoyed it, great animation. Hands off to Park Songhu, who did a real good job with the animation and helming this project. A lot better. And it's worse than I expected to be, but also really good. Like a lot better than I expected to be in some departments. But overall, I put premium streaming. But what about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say like honestly like streaming with ads, which
that's fair. That's fair. Honestly, yeah.
Like I liked it a lot, but I wasn't like in love with it, and rather watch the show, but like I'd still watch it, and I do see myself watching it again in the future. Probably since we have to wait till 2023.
It's gonna be like as soon as it hits Crunchyroll, it's like we'll be skipping to the
like but I do look forward to watching it again. So yeah, streaming with ads.
Let's go. All right, thank you guys for another episode of Half a Clue Movie Review. Stay tuned for our next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Da, 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 da. Oh, it's a different anime. Never mind. All right, bye guys.